Welcome to Time Between Times storytelling with me, Owen Staton. Look, the wheel of the year is starting to turn. The light is surely coming back. Every day we get a few more glimmers of sunlight. Now is a good time for tales, so join me at the time between times, the time when it is neither night nor day, but the sun has gone and the sky is grey, a time when the veil between our world and the fairy world grows wafer thin, so thin that for just a few moments we can reach into their realm and they can reach into ours. The time between times, the time when both the moon and the sun are in the sky. One will give way. Will it be one or the other? We gather around the fire pit in the heart of the forest. We can feel the chill in the air, but we know we are amongst friends, here, where magic happens. So sit back, relax, clear your mind of all that is bothering you, and let me tell you a tale traditionally told at the time between times. The tale of Griffith John and the blue bottle. Today's tale happened a long time ago in the village of Pontrydyfen, the heart of the Afan Valley. They call it Little Switzerland, for it is like the Alps at the peak of summer. Great trees stretch to the sky in a valley as green as the greenest field. A beautiful place, and there, nestled on the slope, was a small farm owned by a man called Griffith John and his family. They were poor. They were starving, and they could not afford the rent. They only owned one cow, so thin you could see the ribs on her. She would only give milk on occasional days, and Griffith's wife turned to him and said, "We cannot afford the rent. We cannot afford any food. You must sell the cow, and then we will hope to God that we'll be delivered, or the landlord will take our house, and our children will be out. We don't know what will happen to us, so please do what you can and get the best price for the cow." Griffith put a lead around the cow's neck and started to walk her down to the village, down to the towns, down to Aberavon where the market would be. As he walked the winding way down through the village of Carmarthen, he noticed a small figure sitting on the side of the track. It was bent over and hunched with a huge nose and big teeth. Its eyes were bright, and its face was the colour of a cabbage. It had a small hat on its head, and Griffith was terrified, for surely this was one of a Tylweth Teg, the fairy folk. The fairy spoke to Griffith as he passed, and brought out a small pipe and started to puff it. "Where are you going with that cow?" "My friend, I am taking it for sale in Aberavon in the market. Only when I get it there can I get some money for my family, for I will surely lose my house." "Well, I can help you here. Now, in the earth beneath me, if I scribble and scrabble at the ground, I will pull out a blue glass bottle. I will give you that bottle in exchange for your cow, and the bottle will give you anything that you ever want. You just place the bottle in the middle of the table, and you say, 'Blue bottle, weave your magic,' and wait and see what happens." "Surely you must think me some kind of fool. Why would I do that, when I can go down to the market and get enough money for another month's rent?"
"Another month, maybe, but I am offering you a fortune."
The Tylweth Teg scrabbled at the ground, his fairy hands scrabbling at the earth, and pulled out a broken blue glass bottle, like you see strewn sometimes on forest paths.
Here is the bottle. Do we have a deal?"
Griffith was feeling so low, his heart so low, that he felt that he had no choice. So he turned to the fairy and said, yes, we have a deal. I will trust you that this will happen."
"Oh yes, you can trust me. But Look after the bottle. Keep it tight. Keep it safe. Do not give it to anybody else. Your fortune is assured. Now, give me the cow.
The Tylweth Teg took the cow and walked off into the forest. Griffith John looked at the small blue bottle he had in his hand and realised that he would now have to explain to his wife why he had swapped it for a cow. He returned home. She was not best pleased. But taking the blue bottle, he placed it in the middle of his table, and at the time between times, time it was neither night nor day, but the sun had gone and the sky was grey. He rubbed the blue bottle and said, blue bottle, weave your magic. Blue bottle, cast your spell. He sat back and watched. First of all, nothing happened. But then a small mist started to come out of the broken top of the blue bottle. It filtered through the air, swirling around. Both Griffith and his wife stood back. And then suddenly, clawing their way out of the bottle, came two of the smallest fairies on small gossamer wings. They flew around and placed on the table gold plates, gold knives, and gold forks, and a table full of a sumptuous feast. Griffith and his family ate all they could eat and were left with treasures unbound. The fairies returned to the bottle. The next night he did the same, and more gold plates, more knives, more forks, and also a cart and a horse appeared outside. On the third day, he felt that nothing had happened, but when he opened the curtains, he saw a herd of cows in the field outside. Ha! He had become one of the wealthiest men in the Afan Valley. He started to buy fine clothes. He started to sell the gold plates. He sold more cows. Every night he drank the finest wine. They ate the finest meat. Surely now he was doing well. But one day, one fateful day, there came a knock at the door. Griffith answered the door, and there was his rich landlord of the Tylweth family in Margam. He wished to know why suddenly Griffith, who owned a poor farm on the sides of the Afan Mountains, had become so rich. Griffith explained to him about the blue bottle, and although the Tylweth gentleman was sceptical, he offered Griffith a fortune for the bottle. Realising that his ship had finally come in, and impatient, Griffith accepted, and Mr. Tylweth walked away with a blue bottle. Ho, ho, ho! The next few months and years were the greatest of Griffith's life. He dined with royalty, he travelled the world, but slowly and surely, as these things often do, his money ran out. Until once again, he was a poor farmer, nestled in a rotting house at the side of the Afan Valley, with one cow. And once again, after a discussion, and at the time between times, he walked that cow to the market in Aberavon, in the hope that he would see his fairy friend once more. And once again, he came across that small fairy, sitting on a rock. Ah, Griffith, here you are. So, the blue bottle, where is it? I was a fool, my friend, and I've sold it, and I ask you, would the same deal be available today? I have another cow, and I would hope that you would have a blue bottle in exchange. Did I not tell you not to give it away? That's correct, but I ask your forgiveness. All right. I have another blue bottle. It's different, but similar. Do the same thing. Return, and I will take the cow. The fairy walked away with the cow, and Griffith returned to his house with the blue bottle and placed it on the centre of the table. Blue bottle, weave your magic spell. Blue bottle, make me rich again. After a few moments, when he thought nothing would happen,
The mist started to rise once more from the blue bottle. Griffith and his wife sat back, but this time, out of the blue bottle, emerged two fairies carrying great oak cudgels, who started to hammer on Griffith and his wife. They both fell to the ground, hit and hit and hit, and only when they were barely conscious did the fairies return. Beaten and bloodied, he sat up. Surely this is a punishment for what I did with the other bottle. I need to get it back. He placed the blue bottle under his coat and walked to Margam, where the Talbots lived. There, in front of Margam Castle, its towers stretching to the sky, he hammered on the door and asked to be entered in to see Lord Talbot. He made his way up the great stairway, and there stood the landowner in his study, books all around him, a fire burning in the hearth, and the blue bottle there atop the fire pit. My lord, I have made a mistake, and I would like to ask you if you would be kind enough to return to me the blue bottle. Why should I return this to you, Griffith John? This has given me wealth untold. You sold it to me fair and square, and I gave you... I know, my lord. But I have here another blue bottle. You are welcome to try it, and maybe you will exchange it for the old one. From out of his coat pocket, Griffith placed the blue bottle on the table. Lord Talbot came forward and sniffed at it, looked at it, and rubbed it, and then said, blue bottle, weave your magic spell. And surely enough, a mist started to form. Griffith ran outside of the study and closed the door behind him. And inside he heard the hammering of the cudgels and the screaming of Lord Talbot. But only after he was deathly quiet did he return, walking inside. And he saw both the old and the new blue bottles on the table, and Lord Talbot on the floor, his head cut and bruised and unconscious. Griffith rushed in, grabbed the old blue bottle and the new blue bottle, and placed them in his coat, ran outside, and ran back to his farm. But on the way, somewhere, nobody knows where, he dug in the ground and hid both blue bottles before returning to his farm, poor, without anything but the love of his family. And eventually, that's all he needed. He lived a poor but thorough life, and died an old man, telling his tale to those who asked. One thing he would never say was where he hid that blue bottle. Now many people pass the mountain paths from Pontrydyfen to Margam, in the hope that one day they will come across that Tylweth Teg sitting on the side of the road, and he will offer them the same deal as he offered Griffith John all those years ago. And that, my friends, is the tale of Griffith John and the blue bottle. Diolch yn fawr am gwrando. My name is Owen Staton. Please like and subscribe. I release one of these videos every week. If you're feeling generous, please go to ko-fi.com/Owen Staton and buy me a coffee. I really appreciate that. I have another channel for my gaming exploits called Adventures at the Time Between Times. If you wish to have a look at that, I would appreciate it. And also, I release a podcast every week, all about tales, called Time Between Times Podcast. And that's available wherever you get your pods. Happy New Year, all of you. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. And I will see you again soon. No star.